Welcome to DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Detzel, so let's get started. All right, welcome to another DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Detzel, and today's special guest is Shirley Barbaro. Shirley, how are you?
I'm doing great, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. And it's funny because I was talking to Simon Lee and one of the I was at a Plano Pacers run or whatever.
Yes. So we're the Plano Running Club. There's also
Yep,
Plano.
that's
We're
right.
not the same club, but we play in the same area. Plano's
Yeah.
not so big.
What's funny about that is for years, I thought Plano Running Club and Plano Pacers was the same thing. Now I know the difference. My wife is like, Chris, don't be an idiot. Like, it just rolls out the tongue both ways.
Yeah, it's all good. We know a lot of the same people here in Plano, so it's all good.
No, and yeah, I ran into Simon, and I know he runs with Plano Running Club when I was at a Plano Pacers thing. And so that's how I ran into him. I was like, who should I talk to? And it was you. And he said, I should talk to you, Shirley, about one is you're the founder of Plano Running Club and you
Mhm.
started that. We're going to dive deep into that later. But I want to talk a little bit about you, how you got into running and what started that journey for you.
I can honestly tell you that I'm a late bloomer. I think
Mhm.
I'm a late bloomer in life in general. So I didn't run track in school like a lot of runners do. I was well into the AARP age when I started running. In fact, it was 2010. And I remember going to back then the Plano Luke's Locker store to buy a pair of shoes. I didn't have any idea about running whatsoever. I never ran a mile in my life until 2010. So late bloomer here. And I'm like, oh,
So quickly, RP is 50. I thought you were just 50 now because I'm 50 as well.
you're very sweet. But I didn't start out running. I didn't do it in school. I started 2010. I walked in the Luke's Locker Plano store back then. A pair of shoes. 5 minutes, they signed me up for some half marathon training program. I told them I don't run. I have never ran a day in my life. They didn't bother them. 2 weeks later, it was January 2010. I was at Russell Creek Park, like 6 a.m. in the dark, freezing. I never got through the first mile before I had to quit and start walking. I'm like, these people are nuts. What are they doing out here? I don't think running is for me. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot, but I don't think this is my thing.
Yeah.
So 3 months later, I ran my first half marathon. And
Wow.
yeah, if it wasn't for these kind people, back then they were random strangers to me. If it wasn't for these kind hearted people that looked after me and encouraged me, I don't think I would have been gone back
Yeah.
for day 2 or week 2 of training. And, since then, they've been my friends.
Yeah.
They've been community. Their kindness actually shaped my future as a runner. And it became the foundation on which Plano Running Club was built.
Yeah. I like that. So we'll get even deeper in Plano Running Club in a minute. But so you ran this half marathon and did you jog the whole thing, run the whole thing? Did you walk, run? How'd that go for you?
I finished running, albeit
Sweet.
very slow, but it was the most amazing thing because, like, I went from 0 to 13.1. I never thought I could do it. And so from that on, I think I ran 5 half marathons. I got hooked and I signed up for everything. And before I knew it, I was running my first full marathon, like the following year.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. All right. You run one half marathon and then hey, I'm going to go do this again. And I really like the community there. Like, what was your first race? And then what'd you run after that? What was it?
It was the rock and roll half marathon. Remember
Mhm.
the roll back in the day?
I do.
Now, they're
I
no
remember.
longer. That was my first race. It was March 2010. I can't even remember how I was just glad to finish. I was one of those people that I'm like, can't believe that I actually ran 13 miles all by myself.
All in 3 months of training.
Yep,
So that's pretty crazy
it's
if you
pretty
think
great.
about it.
So then I ran 5 more, and then before I knew it, they sucked me into everything else. They were like, "You're ready for a full marathon." I'm like, "Oh no, this is a whole different ballgame." But I signed up like a crazy person. I signed up. So I ran my first marathon at Dallas. It was called the Dallas White Rock Marathon back
Yep.
in 2011. I ran my first marathon and pouring rain, Chris, freezing cold. I remember running around the lake. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. This is a stupid idea.
Mhm.
Why do people do this stuff? I finished my marathon. I thought, you know what? I'm glad I did it. I love these people, but I don't think this is one and done for me. And one of my good friends pulled me aside and said, you might want to run another. I'm like, are you great? I can't even walk at this moment. He said, you be cute.
No, really?
Yeah. I, so I have to go, wait, where's my phone? What is the BQ? What is the,
Yeah, exactly.
I, like, I'm new at this. I've never even, did I tell you that last year I didn't run a day in my life?
Yeah,
This is my first marathon. I'm like, what is a BQ?
yeah,
And they had to show me what it was and what a crazy accomplishment it is. I'm like, oh my
yeah,
God, I don't know. So I have to research what BQ was, what Boston Marathon is. I'm like,
mhm,
I was that naive.
yeah. A lot of people are their first marathon. They don't know.
I don't know anything. And then a week later, I find out I never looked up my time. I don't care. I'm done. Okay, I'll think about this BQ thing later.
Yeah,
I got a first place age group win award from Dallas.
no way. Wow.
Yes? In my debut marathon, I won my age group and I BQ. So I'm done.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Call it a day.
I feel like I was ahead at that point
Exactly.
and not have to worry about it. So when I tell you I'm on this accidental journey, it really is exactly that.
Yeah.
I don't know what my intent was. I had no intention. There was no plan.
Did you feel like that, just to back up a little bit, that whenever you were running these half marathons, did you start feeling better? Just, I don't know, like, I don't know where you were, like, on the journey, why you started running, but did you accidentally pushing that? But did you start feeling like, wow, I'm feeling accomplished, I'm feeling better, healthier, anything like that come to mind whenever you were doing some of those things or no?
I'm an extroverted person, so I like being around people. And I
Yeah.
feel like I bonded with a lot of runners. Those miles upon miles of running, you bonded with the people you're with, right? That sense of camaraderie, sharing a purpose. When I say that I wasn't really super motivated about running per se, I really mean it. I was bored.
Yeah.
I was looking
Got
for
it.
something to do. I guess I was fairly fit. I didn't know I could run as well as I did. I fell into a sport that I have come to love because of the people that I was on that journey with. Truly, it was 100% about connection with a community that truly cared about you.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many people had run next to me, ahead of me, behind me, encouraged me, celebrated every little milestone. Oh, I ran 7 miles. My goodness, I've never done seven before and made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
And those moments really stood out in my mind in terms of what it means to be a community, right? Not everyone is going to be fast. Not everybody's going to be, they're all on different journeys. But
Everybody.
I was so lucky to have met a group of people that really took me under their wings. They schooled me because I knew nothing.
Yeah.
I had to start from scratch and they had so much patience. And I thought, wow, I never knew there was such a community until I joined Luke's Locker. And to this day, I will tell you that it's the best thing about running, period. As far as running is a kind of, you have to be an adrenaline junkie. Sometimes, like when you go fast and you hit your workout, that's all great. But to me, it's about the people you connect with and the purpose you serve and how it makes you feel that you're part of something better.
I love that you said that. I think that's why you and I do this, right? Because I love the community piece of it. I love the running piece and allows me to be somewhat competitive and doing something that I think I'm fairly good at. But really, it's just more about hanging out with people, doing something similar and just watching them succeed in some of their goals. And it's fun to watch. If somebody I'm competitive with beats me, I'm happy for them. Like I want them to do better, but it only fuels me a little bit to, hey, maybe I can get them next time or something. But it's just more fun than anything. And then nothing like going out to eat after a nice run or hanging out. And then some of those people become your best friends.
They are my best friends to this day, are my running friends that I met 10 years ago. In fact, my running partner in 2010 is still my best friend to this day. We shared so many miles together, thousands upon thousands of training miles. You just don't forget that, right? A whole chunk of your life is with your running family, especially when you're training for marathons. Oh my goodness, you spend what? 60, 70 miles on the road with these people a week?
Chip. Exactly. I mean, it's literally thousands of miles. People are doing 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 miles a year.
Yeah. Yeah,
So when you think of 10 years, and if you at least did 1,500, 2,000 miles, that's a lot of miles, literally thousands. It's
we
crazy.
about the fact that we probably spend more time with our running family than real family, which is sad. But the reality is, we do love each other, our running family, and we do support each other. We're crazy. Even when we're not racing, we'll go support them, we'll cheer them. There are a lot of clubs out there that promote running in competition. And I'm all about competition, a competitive person by nature as well. But let's face it, Chris, we're never going to win a race. Very few of us will, or even podium. But yet we're out there every day fighting for our best versions of ourselves. And I want to celebrate that. I don't want to put the emphasis so much on pace and speed and finish time and whether you BQ'd or not. Yeah, it's great to BQ, and I'm happy to talk about that. And part is part of my DNA as well. But there's so much more to running than just that, like winning races and hitting your time. There's so much more to running than
I agree. I think that a bigger percentage of people probably aren't going to go to Boston Marathon, do the Boston Marathon from getting the time anyways. And you can always get back or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a very select few. And the reality is that although running can be a competitive sport and things like that, look, as we get older, look, I have 50 and I'm not in some ways, not as fast as I was when I was 40. And so the reality is that I'm definitely not going to win. I might be able to win a age group or something. Now that somewhat fuels me, but it's more of now I just want to hang out with people, running, doing some things. And I just want to stay in shape. I don't want to get injured. I'll still run hard. The goal is not to be injured and hang out with people.
yeah. Totally with you on that, and I think that I really want to be inclusive. I really want to be inclusive in a way that we promote that, right? Not to play down the fact that you should go for the all of the glory, the time, and all of that. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But sometimes I think tend to scare people when we constantly talk about BQs and doing the majors and running marathons, we can be very intimidating. And I'm trying to play that down and be more inclusive. Someone who may never run a marathon is okay. You don't have to. If you move forward and you move, you're a runner. If you want to run, you love running, you're a runner. It doesn't matter your pace, right? Or time for that matters. I really want to promote that inclusivity into our running community and not be so elitist. I met a few run clubs that are very elitist, right? If you can't run this time, you out. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we need those folks as much as we need inclusive clubs that says there's no parameter, there's no limits to joining and being part of a community, right?
Let's dive a little deeper into that since you keep talking about community. And I don't disagree. I think there's different types of clubs, right? You have some clubs that, like a Dallas Running Club that brings new runners in, but also has some fast runners there. But a lot of times that's for kind of beginner runners and things like that. There's a club
Mhm.
called, for example, and they're way more inclusive than most because they have two types. I say two types, a few types of different runners. One is a 2 miler runner. They've never even run 2 miles before. And so they're bringing in people that are very new to running. But then they do have some people that are running marathons and things like that. And they have the coaches that have been there, done that. And so it sounds like Plano Running Club is somewhat similar, not necessarily to run it up, but I would love to hear a story. What got you to start it? And what was your thoughts? You had to name it at some point and do all these things. What got it
It,
together? I've never heard the story.
there's nothing original. We're in Plano, we're a run club, so it's Plano Running Club.
Perfect.
Not terribly original. I know about the trend that run club uh, that are more like a social club. I would say that we're not that. We're actually a run club that socials. We're not a
Yeah.
social club that runs. There's a difference. We
Agreed.
we actually the emphasis is still on running and still on hitting the distances and the time and all of that. But then there's also a part of the social part that we value as well, because that's part of the community that we talked about and being connected with people that we talk about. Some clubs just run, race, and then they're out of there. And
That's
there's
right.
nothing with that. But that's a very limited audience who are that hardcore. We're not that hardcore club.
You're not the sloths.
Jen Pope and her crew. They
Yeah, they're awesome.
run sometimes as well. I know probably half of those folks, they're the great people, but I'm like, Jen, if you do a cool down run real nice and I do my speed work, we might be able to hang around for a month,
Yeah. Maybe for a mile. Yeah.
maybe for a mile.
Yeah.
But there's room for everyone, right?
Absolutely.
There's room for everyone. And we welcome her just as much as we welcome that beginner that had never run before. Maybe I'm more sensitive to it because I was once that
Mhm.
person who
Yeah.
never knew about running and I'm scared to death. I'm like, what is happening? These people are scared. So,
It can be scary for sure. And it's hard
girls,
to
you
sit.
know, my first experience was that it was a scary thing, and I was so lucky to have met kind people. I want to make sure that the run club that I founded would be that club that would be welcoming and inclusive and not scare people and still go after stuff, right? It's possible to do, but
Did you so when did you start it and why? What was that story? Hey, I just want to run the club. We have some people. Let's call ourselves Plano Running Club. What's the
it was again like it was meant to be an accidental thing. I ran with Luke Flocker Plano for several years. First as a runner, then as a coach. And then one day in 2017, they closed.
Yeah, they did.
They closed up shop. We were shocked. We already signed up for fall marathons. Out of desperation, I remember posting on Facebook, listen, guys, I have long runs on Saturday. I have
Mhm.
a race in September. Who wants to go run a few miles? Literally, that's how we started. It was like June 17 or something, 2017.
Yeah.
And 37 people showed up that day.
Wow.
37 of my friends from the Luke flock. We were the orphaned children.
Dang it, Luke's.
Yeah, out of desperation, pretty some odd people showed up. We all have to train. And Chris, I got to tell you today, I was shocked. One of my admins just told me that we had 41 new members this week, and we're now sitting at 5,300 and change members.
Yeah, I see that. It's pretty awesome.
It's crazy. It blows my mind, Chris, that it is what it is today. In my wildest dream, I never thought this would be. I thought there would be a little club of my friends that going to go train me for marathons, and that would be it. I mean, that was going to be it.
That's impressive.
5,300 people later, I guess I was wrong about that little club that just want to hang out with friends and run.
Well, there's a lot of people in Plano now or close to Plano, and people are always looking for running clubs. I see it. I have a group as well, and they're always looking for people to run with.
Exactly.
And the number one, it's an interesting stat. So I have this website called dfwrunninggroup.com. And so I built a lot of different things on it. And one of the pages that I built was called a running club. It's DFW running clubs in my area, right? And so Plano's on there, every running club that I could think of at the time that I put on there, right? But it's the
Hmm.
number one searched thing out of every single thing on that website. It's now number two, but pretty much it tops at one or two on running groups in my area. And so people are looking for running groups all of the time. So I'm not surprised that your group continues to grow in numbers, especially on Facebook, because people are wanting that. They want to run with others. And so you've created something pretty cool just on accident because some of your friends did it. And then all of a sudden you can open it up. And then how many people are you guys averaging per, I don't know, what's your big day? Saturdays or Sundays? What's the,
Our big days are Wednesdays and Saturdays. So on
okay.
Wednesday, we average between 30 to 45, maybe. That's a lot, Chris. If you think about the fact that we meet at 5 a.m. in an ungodly Wednesday morning, it is crazy. We have a lot of deprived, caffeinated people at that hour. And then on Saturday, it goes from maybe 40 to 60. It depends on what people are training for. Our members are, interestingly enough, none of the 5,300 members, most of them don't actually run with us
Yeah.
in
Well,
person.
that's, yeah.
They just want connectivity. They want to be connected.
Yeah.
They don't we have people from all over the world. It's weird. We have people from South Africa, from Australia. We have members in Sweden, from all over. So obviously these folks aren't running with us, but they want to be connected, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that sometimes people travel sometimes and they see maybe the group, not just yours, but
Mhm.
other groups as well. And they're like, oh, maybe I should. There's this guy that reached out to me yesterday and he was like, hey, where does he live in? I'm looking him up now because it's so interesting to me. He lives in could be like Saudi Arabia or something like
Wow.
that. And he goes, "Hey, I'm going to be in Dallas," because he I looked him up, made sure that it was legit, and he runs at the club out there and things like. He goes, "But I'm going to be in Dallas, and I would like to run with some people for a couple of weeks." And I was like, "Let me know where you're at in Dallas, blah blah blah." So he'll send me a message, but there's potential that I'll run with him just because he found you have to be running talk in this instance. Just,
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool that we can do that.
I think so
Somebody
too.
just come on Saturday and run with Plano Running Club.
We actually grew tremendously through COVID
Mhm.
because of that. You can't run together, so you want to stay connected in some other way. It's really fascinating how we can be so global and in nature, but we're here in Plano, but still we can connect with thousands of people across all kinds of time zones.
Yeah. So do you guys just meet twice a week? Is that how it works? Or,
No, we run 7 days a week. We have events 7 days a week.
okay.
So there's no excuse not to run with us. We try to be on the east side of Plano a couple of days a week. We try to be where we are at Windhaven the rest of the time. We have track Tuesdays. We have hills on Thursdays. We have easy runs on Friday. We
Okay.
have on Sundays, we're a real chill walk, run, recovery day. So we actually do have events 7 days a week that people can just drop in on. But Saturday and Wednesdays are our
For the big
main
one.
events. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the big ones. And now, do you go to every one of them or what?
I hit on average about, I'm always there Wednesday and Saturday. I'm usually there on Fridays. I hit some track Tuesdays. I do Sunday. So I'm,
That's pretty awesome. Do you have a? I'm just curious because it's very interesting to me. Is do you have like kind of admins that help not
yeah,
just run the group, but that are also there on the days maybe you're not there that help
right.
run it? What does that look like?
So we divvy up the duties. Like on certain days, on Sundays, somebody's always in charge of that run. So if I can't make it, no big deal. Somebody's in charge. Saturdays, multiple people has to be in charge. We have too big of a group, and the routes are way long and complicated. Wednesdays, we have again multiple start times. So I'm there usually at 5 o'clock. They take the 5 a.m. and the 5:30, and then somebody takes over the 6 a.m. So we have different admins that will take up those days to make sure everyone to get their workout in.
That's pretty awesome. Do you guys ever do? You ever bring like a shoe person there to show out shoes? What does that look like? Because that seems cool.
We recently partnered with Dallas Running Company to do our 20 miler a couple of weeks ago. So they brought in, what is it, basic shoes and gave away some raffles and gave away some shoes. It was really fun. And they set up donuts and coffee and so on. So next up, we're going to partner with Fleet Feet Plano to do our BMW Dallas Marathon partnership run. Is it next? Wow, it's in 2 weeks.
Two
And
weeks.
there's a lot going on. And we're going to be doing some things with Lululemon. They actually have a brand new shoe line that they want to promote. We're going to give it a shot. We'll try.
Yeah, are you working with what's her name? I forgot her name. I'd have to because she called me one day. Anyways, who are you working with at Lululemon? Do you know?
Tara?
No, it's probably somebody different that I'm working with.
So
Go ahead.
So Tara comes to our run on Wednesdays and we met, and they're really committed to being part of the running community and promote their brand and partnership with the running community within Dallas. So we're happy to do that. Lululemon is a very popular brand with runners in general. We all wear it anyway. So it's a really natural partnership to me.
Yeah, they're trying to get more into the shoes and stuff. I had this woman, her name Dawn Wilkinson, and she works with them, and she showed me their shoes last year, and she's,
Yeah.
hey, look, come and look at the shoes again because they're very comfortable. But I wasn't a big fan of running in the first
Hmm.
line. But it seems like they're committed to making those better. And I
Hmm.
still wear. By the way, I still wear those shoes on a daily basis because they're comfortable, but I don't run in them.
Yeah. Same here. Runners are very weird about their
Yeah, yeah,
shoes. You just don't change. You find something that works for you and pretty much dialed into that one pair, and certainly not on
that's
race.
true.
So it'll be interesting to see how members will respond to the new shoes. We'll see.
How do you manage that? Like, how do you get vendor? Do you just call up a vendor and just say, hey, should come out to our run, or what does that look like?
Do anything, Chris. It will do anything. They reach out to me mostly.
Well,
Like
that's awesome.
I get people message me, New Balance, Asics, whatever. I guess we're well known enough in the local community where they know that there is a population of runners that will need shoes. Fleet Feet has a running program that Simon and Joe are heading. So we're well connected with Fleet Feet. And through them, we've had,
That makes sense.
products that we could certainly take advantage of. Yeah, I guess our name is out there because people do reach out to me and say, hey, we want to have this partnership, or hey, we come out and have you try this new product.
Yeah. I love that. That's when you have it made. I have to, hey, do you mind coming to our runs? Now they're like, hey, can we come to your runs? Yeah, okay, but do it this Saturday.
I are very blessed. I cannot tell you how fortunate I feel like we are that all this is happening in a very good way to our club. And listen, we'll take it. All the good fortune. Come on by.
I love it. So what's when you do paces and things like that? Is it just, run it, here's the route and then you go run what you want, or you meet some people and see what they're okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have training programs. We don't have coaching programs. We don't have races. So we understand the runners, what they're training for and know their mileage or how many miles they have to run in a certain day. So I put out the routes and we make sure that they have nutrition and water out on the course. And
Oh,
it's up
that's
to them
nice.
to hit those routes and take advantage of the water stops and make sure that they stay safe, especially in the summer months.
100%. It's a lot of time and effort when you think about one, doing the routes and then the water stops and things like that. Do you just have somebody that volunteers for that, or is there this?
Then volunteer.
What?
100% volunteer. People just say, hey, I need someone to pick up a cooler at this spot. A few people say yes. They donate money to pay for the water. It's 100% volunteer.
Yeah, I figure it's volunteer. I just want, like, how do you get people to actually pick up the water things or do
They,
the water
they
things?
say, I asked, I'm like, I need some volunteer for water
Yeah.
stop. Will volunteer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess when you have 40 or 50 runners coming out, 60, there's always going to be somebody that is willing to volunteer. You don't
And
ever see
all
that.
right.
Good.
We rotate through some of the responsibilities. Not everybody had to hit it every single week, but yeah, there's always somebody who's willing to volunteer and to take care of their own group. So we always appreciate those folks. Yeah, it's to me that's what community is all about, right? Volunteerism.
Yeah. A community like yours, right? That's all you're doing. You're just doing it 100% on your free time.
Yeah. So people do. So I have admins; they donate their free time as well. After like sometimes it's like a full time job and trying to manage all the events and coordinate everything, but it's a labor of love.
I can tell. I can tell. What's kind of the hardest thing you think to managing this whole thing over the years?
Gosh, just finding time, making time for that, and sometimes it takes just a handful of people to get things done. But again, it's not hard work because I love doing it,
Yeah.
and I love seeing people coming out and enjoying it. It's not work if you love it.
I love what you're doing. I think that's pretty awesome. Every time I see your group at Plano Running Club, I'm like, man, that place is huge. There's tons of people there every single time I come out there on a Saturday. I need to come out and run with you guys. It'd be fun just to just do a run or two. What would you want people to know about Plano Running Club that maybe they just don't know? We talked a lot about it.
So a lot people have asked me, what is the secret sauce? I'm like, what is the secret of you having all these people come up week in and week out? And I always tell them the same thing. Our love for the sport is genuine. Our enthusiasm is genuine. The way we're having fun when you see those silly videos and photos on social media is genuine. We're actually having fun and having a good time. We genuinely celebrate every win, every milestone, every race. We try to be there for people,
Yeah.
and people get that get that we actually are who we are. People get a little skeptical these days with social media being what it is, but what you see out there is actually us.
Yeah. Yeah. I see you guys sometimes celebrating others, whether they're going to Chicago, I don't know, whatever race, at a dinner or some breakfast place or something. But I'm like, wow, that's true community. And I feel for a long time, you've created a great community in the Plano area. And so
The
you should be
only
proud.
to this happy go lucky group that we have, the one thing they always hate is how early we are. That's the only complaint I've forgotten.
People have to go to work and it's been hot in the summer.
Exactly. They're like, you guys ever run in the evenings? Do you
Yeah.
start at 5 a.m.? And I'm like, "Well, not really. We're just morning runners. It's in our DNA. We try
Yeah.
to schedule evening runs, but it never works out. We just like mornings. So that's the only complaint that any kind of pushback if people give us feedback is, can you start a little later? So That is about it. And that's we like coffee. I'm like, do you do anything other than coffee? No, we love coffee. Every runner loves coffee.
I just tell them I like to go to bed about 8:15. And so if I have to go to a run at 7 and be done at 8:30, man, I'm already past my bedtime.
That's it. That's the only complaint. You guys drink a lot of coffee and you start way too early.
Yeah, I just think early is always a little bit easier. But yeah, look, you can't do everything. Some people do like to do the evenings. They like the cocktails afterwards and things like that.
Yeah, part of our DNA as well. We do socialize. And when we do these happy hours and dinners or whatever, we really have a good time.
You're just not going out to run in the evenings. You're just going to have cocktails.
Exactly. We already done that. And so we've earned that cocktail, right?
Yeah. Do you guys have a party every year or something for a
Yeah.
Christmas or anything like that?
Well,
What is
I'm
that?
to invite you to our season end party.
Okay. I'll
Uh,
definitely come.
we always have a season end right after the Dallas Marathon. It's going to be the day after this year.
Okay.
And then we're going to celebrate and we're going to have bring all the medals for the year. We're going to
Nice.
proud. We're going to cheer to a good year of racing and running. It's a big deal. We bring out a lot of people. We had a good time. I'll invite you.
Okay. I'll definitely come.
Okay.
That'll be fun for sure. Is there anything that I missed that I should ask questions about or that you're dying to tell me about you or the club or anything?
You can ask me anything. We love to run and we hope to be able to make a big splash at the Dallas Marathon. We always do. And that's the next big race. Not the Chicago is next, and then there's New York, and there's all these other races that we're going to hit, and we're going to wrap it up in Dallas, and we're really excited about it. This is the first year we usually race, right? So here we actually going to volunteer. We're going to be at the water stop up at mile 18. You know that
Okay.
horrific hill.
I do. I've run it once, the marathon, but I know the hill and just
Yeah.
running over the lake
So
and
we're
stuff. But
gonna be the water stop up on Winstead and that horrible hill at mile
yeah,
18 and a half. And if you run the marathon, you know how terrible that hill is. And we've all run it a bunch of times.
wow.
So we're gonna be up on that hill and cheering and handing out water. So we're gonna volunteer this year instead of racing. There will be other people racing, but personally, I will be heading up the water stop that year.
I love that. And Dallas is such a good place to do that. And I'm sure they appreciate it. Do you guys volunteer in other races or is that the bigger?
We try to volunteer at the local
Yeah.
races. So we will be at Big Star. We will be at
Mhm.
all the local races and Dallas, of course. But we will also travel to races. I am not running New York, but I am the mobile cheer squad captain for New York Marathon.
That's great. That'd be
We
fun.
have somebody, we do have a cheer squad traveling just to cheer others on at races. Yes, we get on the plane, pay for it out of our own expense to
Hmm.
go cheer.
That's community. I love that. And I think that's a good place to end. Shirley, what you've created to me is really amazing. And the time and effort that you and the team and the group has put into Plano Running Club is pretty cool. And I respect it the hell out of it because I know it takes a lot of work, time and effort, but there's nothing like hanging out with people that are doing similar things that you are. And in this case, it's running and learning from each other and, staying healthy. Like to me, even if you don't necessarily want to try to stay healthy, you can't help it. You're running.
Yeah,
That
we want
helps.
everybody to be healthy and safe and enjoy running for however many years they want to keep running. I do want running until I hit the dirt nap, but
Exactly.
so this gives me reason to keep up, right? So this is a very selfish reason for myself. I tell that to people. I'm like, I hate running by myself, so I
Mhm.
go through great lengths to make sure I have somebody to run with. I
Yeah,
built an entire run club so I
that's
know
right.
by myself.
I love that. Runners are so selfish that I'm selfish too. I built this running club for myself and so I can meet people and run with people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
this is not charity. This is selfishness.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that could be the title of this podcast. We'll see how it comes out. But Shirley, this has been really great. Thank you so much for coming on and telling your story and the Plano Running Club story. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Hope it will be a good podcast. And hey, listen, I am serious when I say I want you to come up to our party.
I'll be there.
I'll join you wherever you are. Isn't Leah doing
Yeah.
Boston? I know
Yeah.
Leah.
Leo, she's my wife, everyone. So she is doing Boston, her 13th Boston in a row. So she's excited about it.
I will be in Boston this year, so I'll try
Sweet.
there.
Yeah, and I'll be there as well. I told her now every year I'm going to go because I had this podcast thing going on too, and so I know a lot of people that I could hang out with, talk to, interview. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things we can do. You
Yeah,
know,
I will be there, so let's connect.
we will for sure. All right,
Thank
Shirley,
you.
take care. Thank you everyone for tuning in to another DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Stutzel. Please rate and review us. I don't see enough ratings and reviews, so maybe you guys don't come to the end of this podcast. But also, if you go to dfwrunningtalk.substack.com, go to our newsletter, subscribe, and get all the cool stuff that we have coming out every week. Shirley, thanks again.
Thank you, Chris. You have a wonderful day.
You too.